Okay, so when you first log into the system after you receive your login, you'll put the information, the username and the password, and hit login. Now again, this is for the people that have never had a license. Okay, so if you do have a license, what you'll do is you find your licensure or application. And then if you have existing license, hit yes, and then next, and then provide identifying information. And then what it will do is it will confirm you, and then you hit next, and then you are into basically your portal. And so things like your name and social will automatically be updated. But if you do not have an existing license, and then hit cancel, you will want to go ahead and I completed a North Carolina teacher ed program. So what you want to go ahead and complete that. So hit select. And if you have already started working on an application, it'll be saved. And so what you would do is you would just hit resume working on incomplete application. So that helps, like if you have started an application but didn't quite have everything there to complete it. So you would select that, and then the old application will pop up, and so you don't have to do any of the application. But I'm going to go ahead and hit start a new application. Okay, so this is what the screen looks like for those who have never had a license before. Now it looks similar to people who have had a license. It just you won't have all of these tabs to complete, and some of the information would have been already put in. But the first one is just a basic introduction. You can read that. There's not a lot of information on here, but I still suggest go ahead and read it. And then you can either hit next on these, or you can just hit the tab. So what you'll do is, like I said, oftentimes if you have an application, it'll import all this information. Anything with these little red asterisks are required. Now, of course, I'm not going to go ahead and fill in a lot of these because, but you'll also notice if I hit next or go to another contact or another page, there's going to be a little exclamation mark, and it will be red. And that means I'm missing something that is required on that page. You cannot submit the application until that information has been put in there. So what you'll see here is contact information. This is just basic information, address, phone number, email address. What I do want to say for the address, make sure it is a permanent address. So like if you're in an apartment right now that you are planning on moving sometime, within, I'd say, the first couple months of completing this application, go ahead and find another permanent address, whether it be a parent's address or a relative, somebody's address that you know that they can reach you if they have to. Phone number, again, it's phone number that you can easily be reached at. Email address, use another email other than your UNCG email. Your UNCG email will go ahead and expire probably after 6 months. So this is basically a way for DPI to get in touch with you. If there's something wrong with your application and they need to reach out to you, they're going to either use this address, phone number, or email. More than likely it's going to be email, but make sure that all this information is up there. And see, that gives you an error if you go out. Ethnicity and race, they do track this information. They want to know the diversity of our teachers. So go ahead and complete this ethnicity and race information. Work authorization. Work authorization, you do have to select whether or not you're a US citizen, have a green card, or especially work permit. If you select something about, green card or especially occupation work permit or anything else other than US citizen, you actually are going to have to upload information. Like if you have a green card, you're going to have to take a copy of your green card and upload it to the application. I'll show you where to upload things in a second. Okay. Education. Now, this is where you're going to basically list all the places that you have received a degree. They don't really have a way to indicate add-on or licensure only programs, so this will basically be degree. So let me just go ahead and say, I'll just select my alma mater. I went to High Point University and my major was elementary education. And it was my bachelor's degree. And so I don't give away my age. I'm just going to go ahead and select any year. There we go. I'll select August 9th. And then once you're done putting your information in, you hit save. And that information will go up onto the screen. So that's my bachelor's. Now, of course, you all are getting your master's or add-on. So if you have an add-on, you already have a master's. But so let's just say now graduating University of North Carolina, Greensboro. And I'm getting a degree in as a media coordinator. And this is going to be in master's. And let's say I just graduated this month, August 7th. And then again, I hit save. And the information will go up here on the screen. Okay, so once I have put in all of my degrees, I'm going to hit next or click the tab, it doesn't matter. Now this is the most important, well, one of the really important screens. This basically tells us what type of license you're going for. So for this, I'm going to hit Student Services Area. Actually, I would say, if you hit administrative areas, that's where the media supervisor is under. But for media coordinator, you'll hit student services area. The media coordinator will be right there. And then degree level of program, you're getting a master's. Now, even if you're getting your add-on, you'll still go ahead and select master's because this basically isn't necessarily the degree you're getting, but the level of license you're getting. So you all will be getting a M-level license. So you'll want to go ahead and click the master's for that. Program completion date. For this graduating class, you'll go ahead and hit August 7th, 2020. But if it's whatever your graduation date is, the date that you're going to want to go ahead and put on there. Route to make sure, for those of you that have previous licenses, this is actually going to be toggled as no. Make sure if you have the option to toggle this route to a North Carolina college or university to yes. And the reason you do that is if for some reason it is selected as no and you submit your application will not come to our portal for us to recommend you for your license. What I term it as is it goes to licensure la la land. It's out there floating around. Nobody knows what to do with it because it doesn't have a recommendation attached. So oftentimes we find these when somebody contacts us frantically saying, where's my licensure? My license hasn't been awarded yet. Why? And then we have to contact DPI and then find out that you did not select to route it to North Carolina College or University. And this will oftentimes, and they'll have to actually route it back to us. This will oftentimes put you behind a couple months. So make sure that the route to North Carolina College or University is always selected as yes, if you're given that option. And then you're going to go ahead and select University of North Carolina, Greensboro. And that is what's going to route it to us. And then you hit, when you're done, you hit save. Okay. And then there's the license that you're applying for. Experience. Now, if you have had experience as, say, working in a public library or working in a school library as an intern or something to that nature, what you'll do is you'll want to complete this information. So you'll want to complete, your experience type, start date, end date, hours you work per week, employer, all this information. Now, there are going to be forms that you're going to have to upload to go behind this. So that will be, If you go to ncpublicschools.org, and let me see if I can go ahead and ncpublicschools.org. This is the DPI site. Go down to where it says Educators Licensure, Informs and Frequently Asked Questions. Here are the experience forms. So if you are in a K-12 school, you'll want to go ahead and do the Form E. If you are in some place like a college or university, that's the Form CE. If you're working in like a public library, you will want to go ahead and do this verification on non-teaching experience, the Form NE. This will be actually need to be completed by, if it's like a Form E, it'll need to be completed by your Human Resources office in your district. The Form CE, oftentimes your college, and the Form NE will be the Human Resources office at wherever you are working. The Form NE will actually probably need to be, have a job description attached to it, just so that they can see that it qualifies as years of experience. Now, years of experience, what that does, or the experience, what that does is it adds years of experience to your license. So if you're a brand new media coordinator coming in, if you don't have any experience, then you'll be year 0. You'll be starting basically at the 0 year. If you have like 2 or 3 years of experience, then you'll come in and your license will have years of experience 3 on it. What that does is it helps with pay. And again, this is years of experience, not months, or so if you have like an academic year or full year. Okay, so affiliations. This would be if you have a position that you are, if you've already signed a contract and you want a district to be able to see where in the process your application is. So you'll go ahead and select, say I have, I've already signed on with Guilford County. So I'm going to click school district and Guilford County Schools, and then I hit save. So again, the only thing that this does is allow the school system to log on and see if it's pending IHE, which means it's still on our portal, or if it's pending DPI, which means that it's been sent to DPI and DPI is looking at it, or that your degree has been awarded. Okay, so that gives them that ability. Statement of applicant. Definitely read these very carefully and answer truthfully. Sorry, my computer went out. Okay, and answer truthfully. So have you ever had allegations of professional misconduct and had a professional certificate or license revoked or suspended? Yes or no. And then if it's a yes, go ahead and either write an explanation here or create a Word document and type it out, and then I'll show you where you can attach that, the application attachments. This is one thing I definitely want to point out, especially for those of you that have had a license before. Have you been charged or convicted of a crime? The wording of this actually changed when the electronic applications came in. The old paper applications only said, have you ever been convicted? When they moved to an electronic, they say charged or convicted. That means even if you have not been, even if the charges were dismissed or you've been found not guilty, you still should always claim. So, and this is anything other than minor traffic. So they don't care if you were speeding and pulled over. Now, what they would care about is if you also got like a misdemeanor aggressive driving, which oftentimes like anything over 15 miles per hour. DUIs, you do have to go ahead and disclose that. Any misdemeanors or felonies or anything of any type should be disclosed. I do want to also put on here that if you have a record expunged, it does not always mean that it has been completely expunged out of the system. It really depends on the county. There are some counties that will go ahead and take it completely out so it cannot even be searched. There are some counties that will just leave it in there, but put expunged on it. So you do need to go ahead, even if it's been expunged, we always highly recommend that you go ahead and you disclose it. Because if DPI goes ahead and pulls up your criminal background check, which they do, and they go into the, I can't remember the terminology, the NC whatever system. It's the same system that magistrate's offices and police use. And it's on there, but you've selected no. Even if the crime was not that bad, they're gonna want to know why you're relying on a state application. So we always recommend that you click yes and just disclose. And if it's been expunged, just say that it's been expunged. And again, you can either write the explanation here, or you can go ahead and write a Word document and attach it to the application. So I'm going to hit no and no. And then I'm going to click next. Now this, where I say I'm going to tell you where to attach it, this is where. So this sheet or this page is specifically to attach different items. First one here is one of the important ones, all official degree dated transcripts. So if you have completed your MLIS, which is, if you completed the degree program, you have to make sure that the transcript says degree awarded. So oftentimes your degree is not awarded immediately. So, you walk on August 7th, your degree actually is going to be awarded by the registrar's office, typically a couple weeks after that graduation date. So you have to make sure that when you order your transcript, if you order it before the degree is awarded, that you ask for it to hold the transcript until the degree has been awarded. If you go ahead and you attach a transcript that is not degree awarded, where the program still says in process, you're going to have to go ahead and order another transcript and pay another transcript fee to upload the one that says degree awarded. This is a requirement by DPI. It is also a requirement that the transcript is official. It cannot be a printout from UNC-Genie. It has to be an official degree dated transcript. For those of you who are non-degree, that means you're not going to have a degree awarded transcript. You just have to wait until all of your courses have been, all the grades have been released for your courses. So that is a big difference. So those non-degree people out there, the ones that are in the licensure only program, again, you do not have to wait for the degree dated transcript, but all grades have to be on there. The ones of you who are in the MLIS program and are getting a degree, you do have to wait to that degree awarded transcript. Another one in here is going to be for those of you who, this is your very first license ever. You have not had a provisional license. You have not had a teaching license. This is your very first North Carolina license. For those of you that qualify for that, you're going to have to upload your degree awarded undergraduate transcript. So if it's at UNCG, you don't have to worry about that. That'll be part of the transcript that is released. If it's someplace other than UNCG, you will have to order a degree awarded transcript from there and upload that onto this application as well. And that's because DPI does need to see that you have been awarded an undergraduate degree. So that is for transcripts. Court documents. Again, this is if you had done anything in that statement of applicant, you're going to, this will be what you term for any like Word documents talking about any charges or convictions or anything. You'll also, if they are available, it depends on the age of the charge, you will have to go ahead and upload any court documents that you may have. And that's how you would do. And basically you would have it as a PDF or a Word document, and you'd select this, hit browse, and then select it off of your desktop. And then you can write any notes in here. Documentation of experience verification. So if you completed this, the experience, this is where you would basically upload any of the forms that you had completed by the Human Resources offices. Okay, that does not pertain to you. Test scores. So Praxis 2. So this is what you would pick if you're uploading your Praxis 2 scores. And again, you'd have that as a PDF on your computer, and you would just upload those. Other documents, if there's anything else you want, if you want DPI to have, that's where you would go ahead and you just choose other documents and have it uploaded. I do want to make sure you know that there is a file limit on here, a file size limit. So if you have something that is very large, you're going to want, especially if it's a PDF, you're going to want to go ahead and reduce that file size so that it can upload. I don't know what the file size limit is, but if you do get that error, just kind of open up your PDF and go ahead and reduce that size. So once you have attached all this, I'm going to actually hit, oh, and you'll notice that there was an asterisk next to the degree data transcript. So that indicates that that is required. DPI will require that official degree awarded transcript, or again, for those licensure only, the official transcript. So once you have all that information done, you'll go ahead and you'll see it all here. This is like going to be your summary. And that includes any, even though I didn't have any attachments, you can't see, but there will be a little tab here that says attachments, and it will list the attachments and any notes you put on here. I highly recommend that you go ahead and you print this as a PDF or you save it somehow. That way you always have a copy of your licensure application that you have submitted. So once you have all of this, you'll hit submit. And again, okay, it's not going to let me go any further because I don't have the information on. It will actually go into a cart where you can go ahead and put in your payment information and you can pay for your application. Now, if there's any questions, you can go ahead and email me. My email address is crwalke2@uncg.edu, and I'll be happy to help you.